Slaughtering African regimes, it might not be safe for the great leader to leave home anymore. Just as well the world's coming to him next week. At least he couldn't be blamed for smashing Fred the Shred's windows. He was in America at the time. At least that was his story. And I bet he'd thought of it. I'm sure our peripatetic PM wishes he was back in happier days. Say in the 80s, when he was a humble, carefree backbencher and nobody plotted against him because he just wasn't important enough. Ah, the 80s. I remember them well, when greed was in its infancy. Bankers could be trusted, and nobody had heard of Michael Portillo and Diane Abbott. Happy days. Happy days. Anyway, no point of nostalgia. Your moment of the week, Michael?
Today has come the news that the Metropolitan Police have been asked to investigate our security services over the allegations that have been made by Binyam Mohammed, who's the guy who's come back from Guantanamo Bay, but he's made allegations about being tortured in 2 other countries and said that an MI5 officer was present, and so there's the allegation of complicity. Now, last week people were kind of wondering whether even to believe this story, but apparently it has been believed. It's been taken seriously anyway. It is the Attorney General who's requested that this investigation...
Patricia Scotland. Showing commendable independence, I think.
Well, yes. I mean, it does surprise me because, if this has been going on, you would think someone in government would have known about it. So I am pleasantly surprised that a member of the government is asking for it to be investigated. Now, how exactly the Met will get on with investigating is another matter.
MI5 is just round the corner from here. You can hear the shutters coming down as we speak. Knacker of the Yard will get nowhere. They're spooks. They know how to do it.
And certainly...
I think they're just going to say, oh, yeah, here's all our files. Would you like some more?
No, but you can imagine also that it will absorb vast amounts of police time.
Of course.
Like all these investigations in the House of Lords and the House of Commons.
Peerages, where did they get there? Anyway, it's a good story. Unprecedented, I think, is the word.
Unprecedented.
Which, as the Prime Minister told us, means without precedent. Diane, your moment.
It's always a mistake for embattled Prime Ministers to travel. Remember Jim Callaghan coming back and saying, crisis, what crisis?
Though he always said he never said that. The Sun made it up. But being in Guadeloupe was not a great move in the middle of the winter.
Anyway, moment of the week, it's got to be Mervyn King. It's got to be Mervyn King. He owes Gordon nothing. They didn't really want to reappoint him anyway.
They don't like each other. Certainly the Prime Minister doesn't like him.
People are saying it's not his business to talk about fiscal policy, but if his business is inflation and he can no longer use interest rates, then he's obliged to talk about fiscal policy.
Of course, because you can't run monetary policy in a vacuum without knowing about fiscal policy. This will surprise you. We're going to talk about that in this programme a lot, because it was probably the highlight of the week. But first, now for tonight.